Greetings, everyone. We're going to begin now. Janae, if you can um, remove the PowerPoint, and Jamoke, you're on. We're going to have greetings, opening salutations from Brother Jamoke Fatayo.
Right. Greetings, peace and power, free the land, Black power. This is we are getting ready just to open this meeting with a little bit of centering ourselves. We know we have many different faith traditions, but we also know that it's important to tap into spirit. And if you don't believe in spirit, those of us give us a pause so that we can do that. We invite you to just start by centering yourself by taking a deep breath in and breathing out slowly. Continuing to deep breathing at your own pace. Divine Spirit, we give thanks and praises in this now moment, known by many names as we've come together for operational unity, as we've come to advance and continue to move the work of reparations forward. And we say Ashe. We give thanks and praises for the foundation that we stand on, our ancient ancestors, civilization builders, freedom fighters, those that charted the heavens and the stars. We understand their power, their genius, and their creativity, and we're in the lineage with that. Ashe. We give thanks and praises for our freedom fighters and those who have continued to bring beauty and art and science and medicine and all that we need as a people to move us forward. We stand on their shoulders, those great ones. We say Ashe. We give thanks and honor to our family ancestors, our family lineages. They prayed for us, they did things for us, they sacrificed for us, and we give thanks and praises for those sacrifices in this now moment. And finally, we call on the spirit of healing and unity in this reparations work to create a better future for our children and those yet unborn. We honor their legacy, and we hope that they will honor our legacy by the actions that we take today and the actions we take every day to create a better world, to bring about healing, to bring about justice, to bring about unity, to bring power and strong family and nationhood into our being, into our communities, into our existence. We say Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.
Asheo. Thank you, Brother Jamoke. Tonight's session is first, my name is Cam Howard. I'm Executive Director of Reparations United, Commissioner of the National African American Reparations Commission, and a co-convener of the Global Circle for Reparations and Healing. And we called this particular session together to be a call to action for those in the movement, in the reparations movement, for work that can be done and must be done right at this moment. We cannot give up, and we wanted various members of the movement to stand with us as we make this national call to action, as we continue to push forward for federal reparations at this time. And I'm going to stop here and allow for some opening statements from Sister Jessica of the National Black Culture Information Trust. Jess, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the National Reparations Strategy Session. The National Black Cultural Information Trust shares news, information, and resources that uplifts the collective freedom of Black communities. In this vein, we advocate for comprehensive reparations focusing on repairing harms endured by Black communities due to chattel slavery, Jim Crow, systemic racism, and their continuing vestiges, and repairing communities with forward-thinking initiatives that safeguard the future of Black America. With Black communities experiencing the brunt of climate change, targeted disinformation, low wages, economic disenfranchisement, medical racism, housing discrimination, and more, the situation is dire and the time is now for an executive order to start the work of H.R. 40. We strongly support an executive order for H.R. 40, the Commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans, and we are committed to working with reparationists, activists, and advocates far and wide for reparative justice.
Thank you, Jam. And we're expecting Movement for Black Lives, Dr. Mara Inget, to make a statement. However, she's in Ethiopia, and the time difference is great. It's about 1 a.m. there, and we were hoping we can get her on. We didn't know about even the bandwidth in order to do so, but maybe she'll jump on a little later. But now we're just going to go forward with our elders. You know, we want to make sure that people know that this movement is not a new movement, that there's been 50 plus years of struggle, and some people in our life who have been doing that struggle for 50 years in the modern reparations movement. But the reparations movement in its entirety is as long as we've been in this country. And so we want to make sure that people are aware of the elders that are here and that are still working and have done work to get us to this point. So we're going to start with some elder statements. And Sister Janae, can you, or Jam, can you read off those elders in the order they'll be speaking? And our elders' bios are so long, we're not going to share their bios. We're just going to share who they are and the organizations that they're with just a little bit. But you'll find their bios will be on our website under Black Vote Reparations Strategy Session. You'll find their full and complete bios. We ask for their long bios because we want people to really be able to go to this site and know who our elders are and what the work they've done and how we're standing on all of this great work. So, Jam, can you let us know who our elders will be speaking?
Sure. I'm not sure I have the complete list, so I may need a little assistance. Chairman Omali Yeshitala, Dr. Ajwa Ayetoro, Professor James Smalls, Attorney Afia Nwangaza. And is there anyone else that I'm missing?
There's Elder Barbara Will Crosby will be speaking as well. Before Sister Audrey speak, Chairman Omali Yeshitela will do a presentation. Chairman Omali Yeshitela's presentation is on reparations advocacy in the context of freedom of speech. And that's very serious for us to know what's happening in this country around freedom of speech and reparations. So without further ado, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And the chairman, if you can just share who you are.
Uhuru.
Great, Uhuru.
Thank you so much. I want to go ahead and be as expeditious as possible. I know we don't have much time. I am Omali Yeshitela, and some of you may know of me, and some of you may be familiar with the fact that the United States government attacked me, my home, our movement on July 29, 2022. But most people would not recognize necessarily that the reparations issues was connected directly to this attack on us. In fact, the United States government charged me and our movement as being Russian agents. And during this trial that they imposed on us, they declared that it was the Russians who came up with the reparations movement. It was the Russians who came up with the struggle against genocide that African people have been involved in this country. And so the thing is that what the US government has done is attack us and make charges against us that suggest that any criticism made of the United States government by African people about our treatment is something that's coming from foreign agents, that it has nothing to do with the actual treatment of Black people by this government, by this country historically. And of course, the reparations issue is the fundamental criticism, makes the fundamental criticism of our treatment. It is something that says that something horrible has happened, continues to happen to Black people, and that's why we're demanding reparations. And so, as I mentioned, the government charged and attacked us with that. We were able to beat that charge on being Russian agents. We crushed them. There was nothing that they could produce that indicated that we work for Russians. You see now that these are FBI agents in front of my home in St. Louis, and this is during the daytime after the majority of them have left with the armored vehicles, the flashbang grenades, the violent assault that they made on my home, that they threatened my wife with. The neighbors next door were threatened. The entire neighborhood was cordoned off because they said they were serving a search warrant based on the fact that we were being indicted for being Russian agents. So that is what we're looking at here. And the fact is, as Comrade Cam has just mentioned, these are photos. This is a photo of an actual trial. While a trial was going on, there's Cam in this photo, and people came from all around the country. There's Jill Stein. There are other people who are standing with us from the Puerto Rican movement, Charles Brown, et cetera. And so during this trial, we exposed the fact that it was the government, the United States government, that was actually the offending force here, that the only thing we've ever worked for was Black people. And so that's the thing that came out during this trial, and that was really important. Here you see that for years we've been doing work around reparations. This is demonstration that we were involved in California. This would have been in the 1980s. Food stamps, hell out, people not begging for crumbs. We stand tall with dignity and demand reparations now. This is what we were doing then. 1976, we began this work around reparations and working with the Puerto Rican Socialist Party, a demonstration in 1974 that they held bicentennial without colonists, without political prisoners. And we wanted to introduce the colonial question there and the reparations question there. Now, this conference, working to build this, we were told that the reparations, not by the Puerto Ricans, but by white leftists who were there, that the people who were dealing with reparations constituted a lunatic fringe in the movement. It was not something that was respected at all. We determined some time ago that we would make reparations a household word, that we would take the reparations issue to the masses of Black people and make it something that it would be impossible for anybody to reject as a viable and valid kind of a demand that was made. We organized in 1976 the African People's Solidarity Committee began the work in the white communities demanding reparations. There are 130 some odd cities, 140 cities where there are white people who are doing work under the leadership of our party, demanding reparations, collecting reparations, in fact, and we've took the struggle of African people behind enemy lines into the homes, et cetera, of the white population. We developed in 1977 a tactics and strategy demand for a way forward for Black liberation within the United States. And that is the basis that contributed to the strategic work to build the reparations movement as part of winning African people and the majority of African people in this country who constituted what they characterized as a pro-independence or anti-colonial movement. We built this process to bring all of that together. That was in 1977. 1979, we adopted in our party the 14-point platform that included point number 11 demanding reparations to African people. This is something that we've done historically. We convened the first tribunal on reparations for Black people in this country, Internet World Tribunal in 1982. There's Dorothy Lewis, who became the first president of that organization. We worked closely with Queen Mother Moore. We wrote several books. We quantified for the first time in history, we quantified the amount of value that was stolen from Black people just in labor alone. We wrote The Struggle for Bread, Peace, and Black Power. This is the political report to our first Congress, and there we raised, again, the reparations demand. So we've done a lot of writing. I traveled all over the world in the 1980s to Ireland. This is the first tribunal on reparations for Black people in the United States. This was in 1982. This is the reparations, African National Reparations Organization that we created, the first organization, a mass organization working solely around the issue of reparations. This is the Constitution. You see the children sitting there on that photo that are demanding reparations, et cetera, on the poster. So it's an old demand, as the comrade said. Here, stolen Black labor. This is the documentation that constituted the quantification of value stolen from Black people throughout this whole process and coming up with the $4.1 trillion owed for stolen labor alone. So this is much of the work that we've done over a long period of time. This Queen Mother Moore, as you can see, who was with us with the reparations work. And I just wanted to point that stuff out. And I wanted to also say that this struggle, we took it to Ireland. We had the Irish Republican Socialist Party have a national press conference in Belfast, Ireland. This is during the time where Ireland was occupied by the British as a colonial entity, and this is the chair of the of the Irish Republican Socialist Party who stood with me and declared in a national press conference that they united with our struggle for reparations. They demanded that Irish people in the United States unite with that struggle and with our struggle for liberation, that they would not take any money from any Irish person in the United States who did not support these demands. So I just wanted to say those things. And also to say that that this attack that they made on us was an attack on the reparations demand, and that all of us should really recognize that it's a critical issue because the whole economic and political foundation of this country, most of what is characterized as the Western world, rests upon the foundation of stolen labor, stolen land of Black people and others, et cetera. And the crisis in this country created such a situation that it made it necessary for the United States to attack us. And we have to push back against this and declare that we have a right to make criticism of our condition and to put forward a way forward. And they convicted us on the lesser charge of conspiracy after they couldn't convict us on the charge of working for Russian agents, and which is a ridiculous kind of a verdict that they made. And what that means in part that we have to fight against, because they can even declare this meeting. They can declare meetings where Black people come together to talk about reparations, anything, as some kind of conspiracy and use that as a basis for attacking us. So we're calling on people to be able to unite with us in a very practical way. Come to November 2nd, the Black is Back Coalition Mobilization, Washington, D.C. It's going to be an anti-colonial free speech mobilization. We want everybody to come out, to get people to come out around that. We're also saying that on November 25th, we'll be going for sentencing in Tampa, Florida. And we had hundreds of people who were there with us during the trial itself. And if we can show up as strong then now as we did then, I think we can affect how this government is going to treat us in terms of sentencing. I've overtalked this, and I really want to just appreciate everybody for participating in this and for allowing us to make this contribution. And hopefully during this process, we'll be able to say a little more. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, Chairman. Thank you for that history. And I'm sure 90% of those in the webinar are unaware of that history. So thank you, because all of the work that we're doing is building upon that. Mama Ajua, please.
Thank you, and thank you, my brother, for providing that excellent background and piece on reparations. I just want to say that I became active in the reparations movement after walking back from lunch to my job at the Department of Justice and had an annual sign posted having Uncle Sam pointing out saying, Black folk, Uncle Sam owes you, and I forget the number, trillions of dollars. And I said, yes, they do. And since that day, I have been an active reparationist. So thank you very much. Thank you. One of the things that I wanted to talk about in my 2 minutes that I have is to share my view of the importance of educating our people and broadening our support, much like we just heard the history that was provided by our brother. But it's important that we not assume that our people know or understand, especially things when that are kind of, you know, as I call them, the people can be have dissension around. I recommend discussion sessions be developed to focus on issues that appear contentious. For example, eligibility for reparations became a contentious issue in about 2017, 2018, with the adults coming onto the scene and William Darity embracing a theory of lineage that says only Black people with an ancestor who was enslaved in the United States should be eligible for reparations. Ados and Darity were met with hostility, much of which was Ados's goal, to split the movement and cause dissension. Some people refused to be on panels with Darity and maybe known Ados members. This did not inform our people of views on the issue. It fed into the purpose of creating Ados, as I have read in articles published on it. In working on the Reparations Research Project, National Conference of Black Lawyers Reparations Research Project, including the videos and handbooks that will go live on NCBL's website in the next couple of days. And some people know that's a hallelujah, that we meet the argument pushed by Ados and Darity's proposal. We should be about open and meaningful dialogue of proposals related to reparations and provide our people with a thorough analysis of proposals so they can make an informed decision. There are many people who support lineage because they think it sounds right, it's fair, or it's reasonable. In breaking down the issue and the fact in some that it doesn't repair all Black people of African descent who are injured by slavery or its legacies, they may be persuaded to a broader definition of eligibility. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you so much, Attorney Adjoa Ayatero, Professor of Law. Thank you so much for that. We're going to go to let's go to Mama Thea Nawaganza, the Malcolm X Center.
Greetings. It's my honor and my privilege to be a part of this august body, this historic moment. And I thank and salute Brother Cam Howard for his commitment to uniting the reparations movement, to be inclusive, and to hear all voices so that we are, in fact, coming to an understanding, coming to a definition of
water softener, easy. Why stay in the top?
coming to a definition and an application that reflects all of our thinking and meets all of our needs. As we know, reparations is more than a check, although it's become popularized as such. It's even more than 40 acres and a mule. Reparations is reclaiming, reconstructing, and reasserting our dignity and worth as human beings. And in doing so, not only do we do so for ourselves, but we do so for humanity. For in the process of achieving reparations, we slay the beast that would reduce us to anything less. Again, I thank you for this moment, and I offer my hand in gratitude.
Thank you, Mama Thea. Baba Will Crosby. The beast, as you say, Mama Thea. Baba Will is an elder out of Chicago area,
Okay.
long-time political activist. Go ahead.
How's everyone doing this evening?
You want to turn your camera on, Baba?
My name is Will Crosby. I'm with the United Front. As you know, we have been on the hit list by the U.S. government for many, many years. And so, Brother Satelli, I feel you. I know what's going on because the federal government will come at you. And my brother who passed away, Reverend Charles Cohen, they put him in the federal penitentiary as well as they did to Callie House. And as we know, Callie House in the 1870s started a reparations movement for ex-slaves. And she wanted to, in fact, have 40,000 Black people who were part of her group. And so what we want to do is we think it's time for us to take reparations to the grassroots. And we think that there needs to be a nationwide movement to get signatures of our people and go door to door with this reparations movement. We have to become like the Jehovah's Witnesses. We have to start knocking on these doors.
Right.
And we got to take it to the people because, see, reparations is always, our people don't understand colonialism or do they understand the colonial period because, again, the education system is not here to educate us about who or what has taken place in our history. And so for those who don't see reparations in terms of the colonialized us before there was America. It's a fact. And so we have to be able to now go into the neighborhoods and talk to our people, because our people have not been truly informed. I know for the last 13 years, I've been having a social media page that I've got about 3,000 people part of, but I still have a need to talk to each one of those individuals, because a lot of people just don't understand reparations, because it's not something that, it's like everybody talks about the money, but not what the effect has been on us on all kind of levels. And so I just want to share with you all the need for us to do us a petition, where we go door to door, knock on people's door, and talk to them about reparations across America. And thank you.
I say, Barbara Will. Sister Janae, can you pull up the slide deck? I'm going to share a little brief information, and then we'll get back to some of the other speakers that are in line, brothers and sisters who are organizers in the movement, who will also share some information throughout the process as well. So we've heard from some of our movement elders and got some very great marching orders, got a detailed history on why it's so important for us to understand that we're not alien to attack doing this work. And we don't need to be cognizant of that. And we need to be in solidarity with those who have been under attack. Mm-hmm. Also that there are discussions that serious discussions that need to be held, that Mama Audra talked about. And, you know, we have an enemy, and that we need to take it to, as Mama Fia has talked about, and we need to do it door to door, as Barbara Will has stated. With that, if you can, Janae, pull up the PowerPoint. I want to thank our elders, man. And it was, as Mama Audra, Attorney Audra said, she saw that poster by ANRO. ANRO is the African National Reparations Organization that was started by Chairman Olipali Yeshitela. She said she saw that article, that poster that inspired her to work. But it was at my first NCOBRA conference, where the chairman was the keynote speaker, that solidified for me that this was the work that I was going to